Prem Suravind Ragham Harilal ki Jai. Cordial Sitaram, humble pranam to all. Welcome to our second night of virtual Vishnu Gyan Yagna. And I'm coming to you live from the Sri Krsna Seva Ashram in Princestown, Trinidad. But as I've been bombarded today by many questions and calls from all over the place, all over the world, many of our devotees are benefiting from these types of discourses that are relevant, educational, and in a way, the purpose is in a way that you will understand that the family, not only the elders who have a little idea, but the younger ones who are still forming the idea of Pitra Paksh. For this reason, last night we did the history from Mahabharata. Where does Pitra Paksh come from? And we entered from there into the Vayu Puran, into the Gaya Mahatyam, because of one of the mantras that we use when we are invocating in places where Shrad is being done. Gaya, Mathura, Maya, Kanchi, and it calls one of these names that it is invocating at the holy Tirat spot, Gaya. And we heard the backstory of what this Gaya coming from, the demon Gayasur, and he had prayed that his body become like this holy and sanctifying entity. He ends up lying in the land of where we now call Gaya. Gaya is a real place. It's about an hour's train ride from Varanasi to reach Gaya. And people go there, people journey there. And in those places, till today, we have, when you're doing the Sraddha, you don't offer the pinda on a bedi like what me and you might be accustomed, but you will see people offering it on the land itself. So the question did come, why do they do it so? Why do it like that? Why people go there just to do this thing? So it is said in our discourse last night we heard that Lord Vishnu with the Muktar in that form, Gadadhara, is very important in that region and for this discourse. He comes there and all the devatas are sitting on this stone sill that is placed on top of Gaya Sur, and he remains there. And it is said that because all the devatas are there, Gayasur himself who had gained his blessing that whosoever should see him do their prayer close to him, touch him, they're going to get mukti, liberation. So when he merged with the land, it says if he becomes one with the land, if a person go in such a place and they worship there, whatever pindadan, sapindadan, etc., it would lead to the greatest amount of salvation compared to any other tirat. In fact, let all the other tirat, Kurukshetra, Mathura, all these other places, let them come and associate there. So when the person goes there physically to do worship, they would be able to gain such merit. Further to that, when the person invites Gaya, the energy of that place, to sit where we are doing prayer, this is the value of doing it in this way. Please remember. And we went on to discuss some more topics. We went into Garbran, we went into Gita, and in it we touched on many questions as well. Tonight, no different. We're going to read from Vayupran, we have to touch a little bit in Garud and Varahapuran to answer some questions. And then at the end, like we did last night, we did some Pitra Paksh related Hawan, and then we're going to do those and more tonight. So without further ado, everybody, as we join together again, Sitaram and cordial welcome. Get ready, and if you have your pen and paper, if you'd like to make some notes on some of the topics that we are going to touch on, of course, feel free. If you're viewing tonight, please remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you go to YouTube, you will see over 100 videos of pertinent satsang, reading from text, where I reference exactly where I'm quoting from, so that you, the Hindu, you, the listener, would be able to better yourself. And even if you want to validate or verify what is being given, you could do so in a very pragmatic way. Further, by subscribing, the person is now alerted whenever we are at it again, doing satsang in this way. Tonight we begin our second session of Vishnu Gyan Yagna. As we enter into Vayu Puran, we go into chapter 107. But before we do so, we are going to start in chapter 2 of the Pret Manjari in Gurd Puran. Please draw your hands as we pray before we do so tonight. Om Gajananam Buddhaganani Sevitam Kapet Jambu Palchad Vakshitam Humasutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Parapankajam Sarvamangalmangalye Shive Sarvat Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vrindavan Lala Ki Jai. Sometimes the question comes, why do we have to do what we are doing? Why do we have to do what we are doing? The Pitri Yagna, the Puja on behalf of the Pitras. Why is it important? Why is it relevant to do such things? Please listen. Gurud is speaking to Lord Vishnu and Lord Vishnu in chapter 2 of Gurud Puran. He says this is where he's describing the sinful person is walking. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam Tathacha Sabraj Marga Putra Pautra Iti Braj Dhanyate Haheti Pur Yadanitya Bhanuya Prati Margahe Matapuna Yogini Ye Manusham Janamalabhayate Tat Prana Krita Dharma Keleshwar he maya kritam yena. Oh stupid person, the Yamdut is hitting the sinful person. Come along. Your life is done. Sinful person, please remember that. Come along, the journey begins as you are walking. Don't cry for your son, grandson. You are incessantly crying, oh, where is my loved one? Where is my this one? Where is my that one? Oh, you fool! The great, by great and great amounts of merit, the person is given the human birth, the body, with all the fingers and toes, with all the abilities, with all the mental ability. And having obtained it, what did you do? This is his reply as the person now starts to think. This is why I'm reading it. I did not do my duty. What have I done? with the time that God has given me, I did not make any dan. I did not make any gifts. Whether you're talking about for Guruji, Panditji, your parents, the young girls, the Kumaris, the elder women whom we meet sometimes in prayer, the dog, to feed them, gifts. I didn't do havan like what we will do tonight. I did not perform any tapasya or jap, fasting. I did not worship the devatas. I did not service any seva in a place of pilgrimage. Have you ever gone to a temple and said, Brother, let me share the roti, I want to help clean up, please sweep the temple, I want to assist. I never did that. Oh dweller of the body, O Jew, make reparations. What have you done? What could you do now? I did not duly honor all the Pandits and Brahmins. I never bowed to anybody. I never touched the foot. I did not visit the holy rivers, let's say the Ganges. I did not wait or serve good people, not necessarily Pandit, but good people by their table, and we say, okay, do you want a cup of water, uncle, auntie? I never performed any type of benevolent act to give charity, to contribute to something in the community. Okay, there's a pothole, everybody's complaining about the pothole, but one time I gave 2 boulders from his yard and plugged the hole for the benefit of everybody traversing that road. That is just one example. But something that would serve other people. I never did those things. I only did things that would serve my benefit. I never dug a pond for animals to drink water. I never did anything for the benefit of animals or birds. I never supported cows. I never gave food stuff to a Brahman. Oh God, what did I do? I never fed a cow to come out, the heifer. I never prayed value, like when you have satsang and you see the person bowing to the Bhagavad or the Gita. I never did that. I never listened to the discourses of the Puranas. My ears only listened to gossip and those type of things. I never listened to the good advice of my husband or my spouse. I never practiced fidelity or honesty to my husband or my spouse. I never paid respect to the elders on my side and on the side of my spouse. Oh my God, what is going to happen? Prabhu, when bewailing like this, the servants of Yamraj, I'm reading from verse 45 and 46. As he's remembering the spouse, the person who's walking, the son, the others, he's very miserable because he's beaten and he's being pushed. And month after month, he's waiting for the pinda, the water, the monthly Shrad to be offered so that he will get one morsel. That pinda, according to Gurupran, when it is offered, 1/4 goes for his benefit, 1/4 goes for Yamraj, one piece goes for Vishnu, and 1 piece goes for the Yamdut, the Shanti, and it's split as an offering to bring peace in his travels, to give him some supplication. This fella is a very sinful person. You never held your son's hands to teach him how to offer tarpan while life was in your body. But now you are dead and you are, where's your son? The days are going. Bandara finished. Month is coming, month is going, but no Shrad is being done. Oh my friend, how a fool you are. Where's your wealth now? Where's your children? Where's your spouse? All your friends, all your relatives that you once spent your entire life wasting behind them. I have to go by this one house. This one will carry the prayers. They will do the wedding if I don't go. That is our focus. I can't go to the prayers. I can't say my prayers. The children have summer. And we take the time that God gave us and we give it in service for others. And the young dude is simply saying, there is no buying, there is no selling here, friend. You cannot buy your way out of this. You have wasted your life. You did not make any provisions for this travel. Every person that is born has to die. We all have to traverse this road after life leaves the body. But some people never take the time to prepare for that travel. If I have to move tomorrow, if I have to go on a journey tomorrow, book it. Mommy Baba is packing extra medicine, extra kurta, extra dhoti, extra socks, the extra comb maybe. Everything that a person needs goes into that suitcase. But my dear brothers and sisters, tonight as you are watching, pay attention. Careful, we are making this mistake by never preparing our suitcase for that inevitable travel that is coming. If I were to stop you here now, if death came with a gun to you now and says, are you ready to move? There's no buying, there's no selling, you cannot barter your way out of this. You have wasted your life, oh G, oh Atma. You did not take the time to build your own self, but you use your children as an excuse because of their needs. I cannot pray, I can't offer dowry, I can't this, I can't that. But one day you will answer for what you do. This is how the sinful person thinks, and starts to cry because the family, they don't want to make the sacrifice. They don't see the need to do these things. Is this something that is happening home by you? Be honest with yourself tonight. And as we step up, as I said last time, we're going standard 1, standard 2, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. We're trying to improve on ourselves. We have to highlight and see the problem first. In Gerd Brand, he says, do you want to know who is sinful and who is saintly? Look at the family. Look at the features of the family. Person is dying. Some people think, oh my God, if you die now, how will I survive? Selfish. Signs of sinful people, ill-prepared people, poorly prepared people, as we heard just now. But when you are dealing with a saint, Prabhu, he thinks like this: Prabhu, if you are ready for me, I am ready for you. In this moment, I am ready for you. But if this be not be the moment, give me the strength, dear Lord, to go. But in that moment, I'll be ready for him. Principle of Indravan, Dhyani Jai. The first point we're going to do tonight: where are you in your preparation? Yes, we are playing the part that we are offering Tarpan and Tilanjali based on last night discourse. We understand Pinda, Pind, a vessel, a house, to hold something, different moments. We have God, we have Pitri, we have Prit, we have different good elements, different things for different ceremonies. Let's say, for example, the funeral day, the 10th day, the 13th day, different moments. When Nandi Mokshad is going on, different individuals, different purpose. Tonight we're going to hear more about Shrad. So that when you get the opportunity to do good, did you hear what he said? I never gave any gift. I never listened to the Quran. I never gave food to an animal. I never gave water to an animal. It is any act, anything could bring upliftment. It could benefit you. Sharing food. When you are helping people with food, Baba will have in prayers, I want to put 2 pounds of chana. I want to assist in that good, to feed the village, to feed the people. I would like to take part in that type of charity or seva. It have people in trouble, let's go and help them. Seva, charity, that will yield the karma that you are looking for. Tonight, let us firstly go to Vayu Puran, where we continue by listening to this type of discourse. Vishnu is saying that a person just by listening is going to get blessed. In this, what we are listening to here tonight, the place the place where the Shrad is going to be performed, the good act. Baba, where am I supposed to face? Am I supposed to face south? Am I supposed to face east? Am I supposed to do this in the southern side of the house or the northern side of the house? So there are questions about where. There are times where certain things are not allowed in Shram. Meaning, Baba, I heard that we are supposed to cook certain types of meal. I didn't know that one day. I heard that certain things are better suited for this time. I heard that there are certain things better suited as gifts for this time. Tonight we're going to listen to all of that. But let's begin with where. Where? The spot of Gaya, this place with Tira. As we go again into the Gaya Mahatyam, let's hear what Narad Muni is listening to Sanat Kumar, and he wants to hear more. He says, you just described how Gayasur is placed, and then the sill, the stone, is placed on top of him to help secure him. And he says here, may you please tell me tonight more about this sill. What is this sill? What is this stone that now is so blessed that Mahavishnu and all the devatas are staying on top of it? Let's pray together as we enter into this first verse. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya
Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah.
Katam Shila Samrityan Yatha Kranto Gaya Surya Kin Rupam Kin Cha Mahatyam Tasya Kin Varanam Cha Asidhimar Mo Mahateja Sarva Vijayna Paravya Vishesh Rupa Chatata Patalani Pritate Brata Parayana Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Prabhu, please tell me about the Sila, this slab, this Sila, this slab that took birth, that was there when Gayasur was attacked and placed into the earth. What is the importance of this sill? And this is where Guruji starts to explain. In tonight's discourse, tell me if this word sill is not sounding a little familiar. Because it explains something. Do you remember in your wedding, there was something called Sila, and I'm using the word they use, Sila Rohan part. That is where you have the sill, and you will hear the girl resting her foot on the sill. Many people don't know why we do that. Please listen tonight. Sanat Kumar says that there happened to be a person of great dharma, great principles, great, knowledge. Vishwarupa was his spouse, was highly faithful to her husband. And from them, the husband and wife, there was a daughter named Dharmvrat. And she was like a little Lakshmi Devi living upon the earth. Whatever merit existed, it was present in her. And Dharam watched his daughter grow. And when Dharmvrat came of age, she got married. And they married her to a very powerful sage known as marriage. Maricha is the son of Brahma, powerful, righteous Muni, roaming along the earth, and he saw her, and they got married together now. Oh beautiful one, may you always be at my side. May you accept my home, and I will always protect you as a husband. And in this way now, they got married and lived. And they would stay where life took them. They were free. So they would take up a camp, they would stay in an ashram or a hermitage as they walked and they went helter-skelter. And in this way now, she would serve her husband, bringing things like the material necessary for the Hawan, clothes, joining him in worship, fixing meals, etc. Until one day, Shurukanda Chitam Paramuchati Pratavratam Bhaktyatu Sankayam Padhan Sanvaham Kuru Dharma Vratate Jaham. After your meal, Devi, please may you come where I am resting here on the couch on the settee, and may you massage my feet. I am tired. And doing just that, after she had eaten, she comes close to him and she's rubbing his feet with ghee and other oils. And Muni, son of Brahma, Marich, fell asleep in that moment. And then her father-in-law, Lord Brahma, appears where they would stay. And the dilemma is, should I continue to massage the feet of my husband, or should I honor the Jagat Guru, the Guru of this world, the creator of this world, and he's my father-in-law? This way she was very agitated. And she stood up in that moment as he was coming into where they were, in their hut, their camp. As he is the teacher of her husband as well, she paid pranam, bowed to him, offered him, chandan, arti, washed his feet out of respect, adoring him and allowing him to have a seat. Meantime, husband woke up with a rage, with a frenzy, infuriated in that moment of temper. Let's hear what he said. Padan sangvaham tvakyava yasyam magyam vihimi gatayatra tatapapam cha padhanga shila bhavaha. Having deserted the rubbing of my feet, you have violated my command, dear lady. You have gone elsewhere, and on account of that crime, I curse you to take the form of a stone slab, Sila in some parts. The slab that we masaviri, bandanya on. By the husband's curse, Dharamvrat felt very angry. While she was sleeping, dear husband, your father Brahma came here. He is your father, he is the creator of the universe, he is your guru. And all I did as part and parcel of you, as an extension of you, who in rest, I got up and I immediately showed him respect. I carried out your duty, what you were supposed to do. To receive him, I did it. I am faultless, but still I am cursed by you. On account of that, I shower a curse upon you, and you will obtain a Shrad from Mahadev Baba, who you love. You love him. You're very close to him. You worship him every day. He will turn and give you Shrad. That love will not be there. She became very, very perturbed, crying to the father-in-law. Marriage now being cursed, he felt upset. And by the penance of Patibrat that Dharamvrat was doing, Patibrat meaning I worship my spouse, in this case Pati meaning husband, as if it is God. My duty is towards the Devta living in him. This is how she was living. Indra and all the Devtas become very very compassionate, very sympathetic, empathetic. They feel sorry for she. And they go and they beg Lord Vishnu, please, how will she become a stone? She's innocent. She didn't do anything. Dear Lord, we all feel for her. Please rescue her. Having listened to the words of Indra and others, Mahavishnu goes to Dharmabhrata and he says, Ma, dear lady, the words of your husband, because of the amount of tej, because of the amount of prayer that he does, when he makes the pronouncement, it will pass, it will come. But may you ask for a boon from me now. I am so happy with your breath, maintaining your home, maintaining your vows to your husband. And this is what she asked for. If I cannot revert back to my previous form due to the proclamation, due to the curse unto me by my husband, and it cannot vanish, is that what you say? He says, yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, what he has pronounced, it has to happen. Then I wish to have that type of blessing, steadiness of righteousness, as per Dharma and the Ved. Bharatu shrapamuchayatam na shaktischa yada maraha mahyavaram prachayatva evam vidya manoham. Dear devotees, you are not capable of saving me from the curse of my husband. Grant me then to have an extraordinary form. If I become that stone slab, let it become the most auspicious and holiest spot in this entire creation. I shall have more sanctity than the holy rivers, lakes, formidable spots, holy places, devatas, etc. I pray that may all the holiest and holy sage, ascetics, devatas, may they all live there. May all the different linga, the different forms of Ishwar live there. May in its entirety reside on my surface. May I be a stone, but allow me to be established, that when people go and have bath and perform Shrad, offering Pinda, may Brahma and that hard to see form of Mahavishnu with the Gada, where he is known to have destroyed unrighteousness, let him reside there. And when those people come to perform Shrad, allow them to yield and to gain emancipation, not only for themselves, but for their ancestors. Wherever that form is invoked, allow my blessing, mine as the stone, the slab, the sill, allow it to prepare the person to offer into the fire. May it be that by the person resting their body upon me, in whichever form they are born in, via the vapor of sweat, via the germination like seed, via the formation of egg, different forms of life in our dharma, they are described. Jara, Yuga, Anjatas, depending on how they come into the world, asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction, etc. Allow all of them, when the Shrad is being done, when Tarpan is being offered in such a place, allow that sill to raise the quality and the quantity of blessings. In the body of devatas, may they live there. And by performing final rites, by performing Pitri Yagna, Pitri offerings, let the worst soul, the person who is going through the most amount of pain, suffering, hardship, difficulty, by worshipping in that form or that place where that sill is, allow them to get that blessing. Let the person who does bath close to where this stone is going to be kept, allow that person to get upliftment and freedom of all types of sin. Let all the sages, Gandharvas, wherever the stone, the slab is going to be placed, let all the devatas come there. Devotees, this is the part. This, go back to your mandap where the sill is placed by the Vedic, and the different steps, the different chain when they chume. It happens by the Vedic for a reason. The puja is being done there, let all the devatas come and sit there, and when in the wedding the girl rests her foot on the sill. She's calling for this type of blessing to take to her as she is about to do the havan in the bagar, when it is going to be offered into the fire, before she goes from father's name into husband's family. Till time, so long as time is continuous, let that seal, that sila, whosoever chants mantra, perform penance, physical body, touches the stone, let them be allowed by merely touching that stone to offer offerings into the fire. May it be eternal, and let the Shrad that is done, where that sin is going to be physically placed, let all the jap, havan, tapasya, all allow it to be eternal. Let that seal, in whichever form, in this place where I will be placed, may it uplift the individual regardless to their sin. Having heard all the requirements of this lady, Dharamvrat, because of how honest she was in her marriage, Vishnu says, whatever you have asked me for, today I am telling you, as you transform into that sill, into that stone, where I'm going to place you one day in a place called Gyan, where there will be a personality called Gayasur. You will stay there under my footprint. My personal foot will rest upon you. And you, just what you are praying for, my dear Devi, you are going to get that. This sill, when and in chapter 108, an entire chapter tells you the benefit of this thing. When a person goes there to that place called Gaya, as doing worship on that place, if all the Shrad was neglected. Last time I mentioned, because of COVID, many people did not get to reach home to do their prayer. The souls are traveling halfway prayer. In many instances, devotees, believe me when I'm saying this, halfway prayer was done. In some instances, people did not get the opportunity. Maybe they didn't have the material. Maybe they couldn't find the puja store. Maybe they couldn't do the prayer. In one way or the other, in some Shrad, no pinda. And what we are saying, you are hearing in Gurupran, when the soul does not get the help, and they need the help for people who live like that. Now we want to make reparations, we want to go and do the Shrad, but we find ways, places, conjuring the mantras so that we are going to get optimum blessing. This sill is something that is used there. It is used when people are doing, for those of you that have done the Kumbh Viva Puja, when you are Mangal Dosh, they use stone. When you go, there is a tradition in South India that has traveled to Trinidad. When you see people are bringing home the girl from the hospital with the baby, while some people make little flower ball and they offer it so that if there is any unrested soul in the various directions, please eat this, please remain here, but do not touch the child, do not touch this girl. Some people will throw stone, they have the habit of throwing stone, and this is where that stone comes from. That let all the devatas sit on the stone, and when they cast the stone, it is as if you are warding off evil by the protection of the devatas that are present. Yamraj is, in particular, he is very happy when people use the sill in their prayer. For this reason, listen tonight. What a shame! What a shame you're getting married. What a shame you are getting married. And he said, Baba, we just want to do a shortcut. Oh Baba, we want to do it simple. We don't need no sil. Tonight understand what the sil is about. It is preparing you. It is ordaining you. It sanctifying you to do your prayer. Where a person shaves their head, where the sil is kept, where Munda Sanskar, Munda Prishta Dri, where this type of prayer is being done. When people go to Prabhas, when people use different type of stone present on the baby to offer when Pindadan is going to be done. If there is a person who commits suicide and you use the stone in the presence, that person is going to be more and more uplifted. You will find that when they are doing Narayan Bali down, Narayan Bali Shrad. Tonight, if you're looking on and you have your questions, send me a question, post your question, send me a message. Come on, everybody, like and follow. Share the satsang. If you're viewing on YouTube Live, remember, subscribe. Tonight, I want to hear from you. Maybe there's a beating problem. Maybe there is something going on and we need to address it. Please send me a message. I don't read minds, but I'll address your questions. So there is a need. There is a need to do good prayer, but in the right place. It says because of this now, this says what was used. When she became the stone slab, she was placed on top of Gayasur and all the devatas sit there and people go there to do praschit type karma, prayer, puja, Shrad in this particular region called Gaya. Who was able to do this? Rama Rama Mahabaho. When Sri Ram, you will find this in Anand Raman, not Tulsidas Raman. Sri Ram has completed all his work and he wants to, because remember Ravan was a Brahman, so he has killed a Brahman by and large. How does he make reparation? Did he make reparation? Yes, he did. He journeyed to Gaya, found the spot where the rocks are laid just at the foot of Prabhas, and he bathed it together with Sita Mata in the Mahanadi river, and they're going to do Shrad there. Dashrath and his Aja, all of them appear. O Ram, O Creator, how great an example that you have performed Shrad for the benefit of your lineage, and no one is left out by the offerings of what you have offered here. Everybody is being uplifted and you are being washed clean of the sin of that war. This place where Sri Ram went and did that act is still there today. It is called Ram Tirath, and people journey there to gain this type of blessing. In Gaya, this Sil is worshipped and her name is used in the puja. For this reason, places like Naimisharanya, Mukhatirath, all these things are there when offerings are being made on the Sil of Udra Riddhi, where in the mountainous regions of that area, people are going there because of all the devatas. And when your Baba at home, he calls Gaya. Please remember that name. Look out for it when he's saying the Sankalp and so on. When he calls out that name, he's building the spot, he's building the energy. So that when you do the worship, the pinda that is given by the hand of an individual, may it please you, dear God, and allow me, the individual, to gain blessing. But if we are doing it on behalf of others, may this pinda that is offered, may it uplift those, may it give emancipation to the pitras, may it bring peace to them, wherever they might be, whatever difficulty they might be going through because of the debts, the things that they owe to the devatas, the things that they owe to the pitras, etc. Whatever hardship, like what we heard in the beginning, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't do the other, I had so many things to do, and I couldn't get to do any good. How can God allow the soul to leave the body? If there is any person like that in my family, by the offering of Shrad, may you please allow them to be free from such suffering. In particular, may the form called Gadadhara, that is Lord Vishnu again, with the mace. We have to hear about that mace, that's tomorrow night. We want to know that discourse so we get optimum blessing. That is where Narad is going. May Gadadhara be extremely happy with my lineage. Prem Sabolo Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. So we have discussed the billing of the spot. Billing of the spot. Tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about Shrad. Remember last night I said that Shrad comes from Sraddha. Sraddha is the word that means your faith, your belief, your confidence. And based on that, the actions that come. We use the word Shrad. Many people don't understand what it is. So when we offer Tarpan, when we offer Tilanjali, when we offer Havan, when we do all these things, like what we've listened here about the Sil. The Sil is the spot where you're doing the prayer. People make a big fuss about when I'm sitting, let my foot touch the mud, so that I'm going to be able to be grounded. The energy, negative energy has to go somewhere. When you're bowing to the light and you're pulling it on your body, understand that there is energy on your body that may be negative. This is what we call barai, etc. When you pull the positive on you, the negative has to go somewhere. So the person who is doing worship, the person who is doing massage, like somebody who is born rich bird and they're rubbing you with their feet or something, you might see them tap the wall, tap the table, so let the negative energy come out. Likewise, when people are doing great amount of tapasya, the ground where they are doing the worship, that ground must be purified. So we hear about in the this is Varaha Puran. Let me tell you what I'm reading. Varaha Puran, chapter 187. Sutji is relating where the Lord Varaha, where he has the boar head, is speaking to his consort Prithvi Mata. And he says, Mother, let me tell you where Shrad originated. Who did the first Shrad? Remember last night I told you these things like Pitra Paksh did not exist all the time. It came into being. Here now, the origin of Shrad. Brahma has a son named Atri. Atri's son is Nimi. Nimi has a son, Shriman. Shriman is a very great soul, known for his tapasya. Kritcha breath, Chandrayan breath. In cold weather, he's fasting from water. He's standing outside and he's able to hold the posture on one foot, praying in early times for 1,000 years. And that son remained in that posture, long story short, until he died, unfortunately. Nimi now, grief-stricken, brooding, day, night, 3 days pass. And on the Dwadashi day of the month of Magh, when the Sauch, the unclean of the passage of the soul, he's ready to make offerings. This is after the body is disposed of. He calls on God and he says, Dear God, today I make offerings of food, roots, fruits, and other items. May you find happiness. May you be pleased with it. He thinks to himself, what can I do to help my son? He calls Brahman in the number 7 and he feeds them vegetables, roots, fruits that are in season. He places kush grass on the ground now, like what we do on the baby when we're doing what we'll say bandara. Under what we might put the koa leaf or the banyan leaf, we put facing north-south the kush grass. The tips usually to the south. So all now for somebody who asked me the question today, the tip or the top of the kush grass, maybe we cut the grass with a scissor when we're resting it on the baby, but the tip, that's called this pen, the tip has to face southward, as per guidance. He placed these kush with the tips facing south, and he made a ball placed sesame seed in the bowl and calling his name, the sankalp now for the first time that I, Nimi, grandson, son of Atri, today offer Pinda Dan, Pinda, this housing, this wood, this form where he's asking his son to sit here so that gifts, foodstuff could be given. I do this worship on behalf of my son. And the moment he did the little worship for the Pinda, shared food for the Brahman, he felt very happy, he felt relieved of the pain because now he's helping his son prepare. But when that day had come to a close and he sat down, doing the most important worship that a Brahman has to do, Sandhya worship. He's doing his Gayatri job at the 6 o'clock hour roughly, at the sunset, the twilight hour. And it came to his mind that what he did was guided only by emotion. That everything that he did, the offering of that pinda, whatever you call it at that time, he felt as if he had done wrong. He actually says here, he says, what will I do when all the other munis get to find out that I have done this in this unauthorized, because it does not exist, unauthorized act, then I am going to become cursed. And all night he battled with that thought. He got up the next morning, dawn is coming. And the sun is clipping his face in east and he's doing his Gayatri job, doing Havan, doing the Tattva Puja, the 5 elemental Puja. He says, fear upon me, pity upon me, all my strength, all my knowledge, but in the moment I lost my son, I became so emotional. I'm going to be dragged to Pautika, that region of Narak, where a person who does wrong type of actions, they're going to be dragged and punished. Oh, what did I do? Dear Lord, everything that I did. A son is supposed to pray for the father. A father is supposed to pray for the grandfather. The grandfather is supposed to pray for the great-grandfather. That is the natural order. That is the natural way, dear God. What have I done? And in that moment, Narad Muni comes to the hermitage of Nimi and he listens. After all the reception, you know how the story goes, he receives him, wash his foot, give him clothing, offer him something to eat. He relates to Narad Muni, oh brother. Well, Atri and Narad are brothers, so this is like his uncle. Oh brother, with your intelligence, listen to what is plaguing me today. I allowed grief to overcome my intelligence and grieving for my dead, for my lost, for those that are gone. My dear one, I did the immoral act of praying on behalf of such person. Everything that is born has to die. Everything that is here has a destiny. And your son, oh, Nimi, Sriman was a good individual. But it is God who sets the tone and sets the date of our expiration. And knowing this, you must remember to conquer that affection, conquer that incessant crying, pain. In this way, tell me what you did. He says in the upper savya is when the Pandit is switching the janib onto the left hand side. I did all that I did because of sorrow, and I came there and I called his name and I did the offering of the Pinda. And Narad Muni says, don't be afraid. Go to your father, who is Brahma, his grandfather. Go to your father. I don't think you did anything wrong. What you have done has dharma in it. But go and let your father remove that doubt. And Nimi sat down and prays to Brahma. Brahma appeared in front of him and he says, you have performed what is called Pitra Yagna. Pitra Yagna in today's world might say Pitri Puja. This type of act assists the family in their preparation for travel. Because every being that is born, death is coming. It is just we do not know when death will come. But there is no immortality, not even for ants. Therefore, these type of goodly acts, sattvic acts, will bring about a lot of help in teaching the individual about controlling attachment. As they are praying for others, they are praying for themselves as well. What you have done by laying it out on the kush grass, last time we talked about the history of the kush grass, but by feeding the Brahman, reciting scripture, making gifts. I'm seeing here Brahma is saying make gifts of gold, cows. There's a little discussion where I believe in Guyana, the question is somebody demanding the cow or the gold? But in Varaha Puran, in Garud Puran, where they speak about the gifts, it says the gold represents Mahavishnu, a Murti of Mahavishnu. It doesn't say it has to be a bira, it doesn't have to be this thick or this carat or anything like that. Gold. So people, I would normally tell people, put a stopper if you don't have the money to buy a new one. If you could, that's left to you. But I just need the quality of the gift, not the quantity of the gift. It represents Mahavishnu. You use it when you're doing Gita Path in the little book. You use it when you're doing Navgraha Puja. You do it when you're putting on a Murti staff under the Murti, under the base of the Lingam, etc. You put this metal that represents the divinity there. So it is no strange thing that you see it in the Viva Sanskar, you see it in Anteshti Sanskar, you see it when different prayers are being done. So it is a requisite offering in many instances. As simple as Grah Puja, for example, where it represents in the Grah Puja Suryanarayan Swami or incarnation of Mahavishnu. In the case of the cow is a tool. It states here that the cow was incarnated. Where is it? The cow is I'll find it for you. The cow is incarnated as a house of all the devatas. Cows have been brought into this creation, in this world, as an embodiment of all the gods, all the devatas, and all that is holy. For this reason, we worship them. We do not eat them. They move by the will of the devatas, giving milk. Making gifts of them, sins are removed. So, the Pandit, in my opinion, to get the Pandit to take the cow is a problem in today's world, because how many people can maintain the animal? But in our text, for the person who knows very brand, there are 3 reasons why we offer cow down. Firstly, and I'm summarizing, in Pret Manjali I'm quoting, the person is offering the cow in puja if they are praying on their own behalf. I am doing my own Shrad, I am doing something for my benefit, that when I die, it will be there to assist me in simple language to cross the Vaitharani river. To just for a child to understand, to ferry me across that region, should I have to go there. There are more benefits in terms of overcoming past sins, etc. But on my behalf. Then a person might do Gaudan on behalf of another individual. For example, my father passed away, and I would like to give this cow in Dan for his benefit. Dear God, witness the charity, witness the puja, and allow him, my father, wherever that soul, wherever that memory is, allow him to be the beneficiary. And the third reason, when we have let's say, a patient, maybe for example purposes, let's say a young person, a child, that is being plagued with some unnatural disease, too young to be sick, more so to die, too sick for a young person, and you are trying to fight for life. The third reason that we give charity of cow is where you are trying to save, to spare a life. The person is booked for death, imminent death. Dear God, please accept this cow. See the charity. Brahman, please take the animal and allow that person who is fighting in the hospital to get a change in their karma. So when the karma sees change, when there's a difference, when there's positive, the person could witness a miracle. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever witnessed that prayers actually did make a difference? Could you tell me if you had that experience tonight? Send me a message. All of you who are watching, all of you that will watch this after, right now, tell me, have you ever, we speak a lot about prayers, puja. Have you ever seen prayers work? Have you ever seen a child sit down and pray and they pass the exam by some miracle? I didn't know I could do that. Dear God, I prayed to have a child. I prayed for my child. Child sick. Dear God, please, please. And with those pleas, with that right motive, with that right intention, maybe with the right procedure, miracle happens. In my life as a public, in my personal life as a person, I have the blessing of saying that I have seen many instances where God has heard the prayer of His child and change does come. So if you ask me, in my opinion, this prayer work, yes it does. If done properly. If done properly, Father, oh my God, what is that about? If done properly. So we are talking about the right spot with the sill. For the girl to offer the bhawar and the fire and so on, let her touch that stone first. Don't do it after, do it early. In the course of the Viva Sanskar, Pandits, please pay attention to that. It prepares the person to sit, it purifies the person to sit, to do the vows, to do the wedding, to do the offerings into the fire. So that has to be offered. Obviously, the foot has to go on the stool before walking around the fire. That is what I'm trying to say, based on this discourse in Vayu Puran. In this age where we have so much online, everybody is a guru, everybody is sending out, by the grace of God, encouraging the Sanatanists to do good acts, Shrad, to do. Pitrapaksh is running, please, do. Remember your ancestors, remember they went on before, they cut the cane, and because of their sacrifice, you are here. And everybody's listening to it, yes, yes, yes. However, in this last meeting, I must tell you, we have become more confused. So much confusion has been spewed in this last, I would say last couple of days, that people are more confused, more, they want to do the right thing, but what is the right thing? And I want to touch on so many points to answer some questions, but I'm saying it respectfully for the purpose of everybody to do the right thing. Please understand where I'm coming from. I'm not talking about anybody in particular. One question that came up was, and I think we gave it to Mommy Baba. Someone said that when you're offering food for the Pitrapaksh, I'm closing off. The correct thing for Pitrapaksh is to do the entire breath. But for some people, maybe because of job, going back out to work, whatever it is, each is own. People are doing 1 day, 3 day, 5 day, where they make their own vrat. Those things are not rooted in any text. If anybody says, oh, well, you can't do 15 days, you do what you feel. There's a word for that. It's called tamsik. It's given in Gita, where he says pray. That is done for your convenience. But it is not following the stipulations of scripture. It's tamsik prayer is the guide. There is no way it says 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 9 days. Those things are convenience, that type drug that is made by man. Be clear. So somebody asked me that this morning. Which is the best way? What is the best thing to do? Just as you know Navratram is 9 days. Just as you know Diwali is 5 days. Just as you know if you're doing the Ganesh Chaut Brat, you must do it from Ganesh Jayanti 1 year into the next year. There's a rule for it. Likewise, Pitrapaksh has rules. And when done properly, a person is able to get merit. So this person is saying that when you're doing whatever you're doing, in their case, they were doing 3 days, and they're closing off with food, they heard on the radio, Baba, that you should not put till, and I'm saying this in case you heard it or it was bothering you, please send a message tonight. You shouldn't put sesame seed till in the water, in the food, in whatsoever. Where does till come from? Before we deal with that, where does till come from? Garupuran deals with it. Mahavishnu in the creation, he's lying on Sheshnag, Lakshmi Mata by his feet, but the place is dark, only water exists on the Milky Ocean, and from there now he starts to create. And Surya, the ball of fire is created, it's going upward into the sky, and from the ball of fire comes the human form that we see in the pictures with Aruna and all the horses. Surya Narayan Swami comes to bow to the feet of Lord Vishnu, and he touches him, and when he touches him, Garud Puran says Lord Vishnu starts to sweat immensely, profusely. From the head, watch the till, it looks like a teardrop, it's a sweat drop from the pores of Lord Vishnu. If you didn't notice, please make a note. From his head come white till, come from his chest brown till, from his feet black till. He says, wherever my sweat is placed, it becomes pure. Wherever my sweat is placed, negative things, negative people, lost soul, prey, bhoot, pisach, those things cannot come. For this reason, he says, go further. When you charhawe, white till, for those people that are put in there, till in their seed, there's a blessing for it. For those people that are putting till in their hawan offerings, there's a blessing for that. For those people that are making the till into the food, into the pinda, into the till anjali, the handfuls of till, in the tarpon offering, listen to the benefit of putting the till there, please. When you charhawe, white till the sins of your thoughts, I should have killed Shipriya. I didn't do it, but I taught it. God forgive me. Prayer, I will kill that dog. And from the mouth, all type of things come. When you offer brown till, God forgive this mouth of mine. And when you thief in all the neighbor mango and you thief in the neighbor land and you fight with the friend, you know what you do. Don't lie for me here today. You know what you do. When your hand is busy doing this, that, and the other. And my niece and my nephew here sit down, they're laughing and talking. When the mother tell them, don't take up that, don't take that from the fridge, that's self. Children and big people just do the same thing, the hand is in cursing. Dear God, I will find your black to forgive me for that action. So then, my dear friends, if Lord Vishnu says it's my sweat, and it is ordained by his words to be placed here, there, and everywhere, you will see people put till in their Shiv Dar for this reason. You will see them put it in the Vishnu Dar. You will see they use it whenever your pandit come and we're sprinkling Om Apavitra, and he's sprinkling water. You have till and rice in your hand, and after he do this Swasti Vacha and he pray to God, God bless and clean and clear this place. Sprinkle now rice and till so that this place is guarded by the till. The rice is used because it represents Lakshmi Mata, but till, white rice, has no place in Tilanjali. Please remember that. It is not supposed to be there. It has no merit because it will not grow, brothers and sisters. It will not grow. Til Anjali means handfuls of till. Tarpon is water, we spoke about it last night. Please see the craziness we're doing. And when you are hearing madness, Hindu, know your dharma. If you learn your homework and people start to baja and banter at you, attacking your faith, then you have to stand up and defend yours. For every person here that afraid Kali Mata, oh, there's a Kali temple, we can't go there. Oh, we can't go there. We can't go there. We cannot take part in that. We can't keep a Kali Murti. There are pundits in this country and throughout the region that fostered. We're talking about the queen dead. Everybody who crying for that queen, please, as a Hindu, know your history. It is the colonial the colonial masters that went into India and they found a goddess. They found a goddess. And they made you and I paint that lady as heinous, as bad, as scary. You just for one iota, for 1 second, think what I see. If all God is one, but in different kata, in different moment, in whatever, she expressed herself as energy. Energy is one, but the energy could change. For those science children, it could be modified. It starts off as electrical energy and then it goes in the speaker and it becomes sound energy. It could start off as the switch, but through the water heater, the water starts to get hot. It is temperature now, a different form of energy. The transformation is limitless. And this is how Durga Mata runs the universe. She takes this form called Kali. And other religion came into India and said, my dear brother, you see the Lakshmi, the Saraswati, the Durga, lie down. That one's good. But you see the one that is fierce, that has weapons, and will defend herself, and preaches to stand up in the face of unrighteousness and fight, don't like that form. So the Hindu, as time progressed, grew with a fear of their own God. Navratri could never be complete without Kali on the Saptami day, on the 7th day. That is there in Devi Bhagavad. We needed that Devi to fight Rakta Beach. When we listen to Stiti Devi Kali, Shrishti Kali, and other forms of Mahakali worship, it is that same Durga in a different form. But we were influenced by outsiders to hate our own Dharma. Understand this. People who wanted us to convert from ours said, you know what, you see that you're doing there, that's craziness. You see that Pitra Paksh you're doing, that is Jambi worship. But fools don't realize you are worshipping the kush grass, you are worshipping the God embodied in that kush grass. This is plastic. Before man had this technology, we had a grass. So we worship the grass. That is my God in that grass, the Shakti of that grass, the life of that grass. Don't you worship coconut? What are you worshiping? The hucks? You're worshiping the life energy in the coconut. Is there anything a Hindu don't worship? The water, the land, the fire, name it, the earth. So we worship the grass. Is it the dead man? Don't be foolish, Hindu. You just heard how helpless the soul is. Where's my son? Where's my daughter? What are they doing? So Pitra Paksh is there for us to pray on behalf of these people. Likewise, Kali Mata, only a Hindu you will see this. I like this part of my religion and I don't like that part. I don't want to do that part. I don't want to bow my head to Kali Murti. But the history, now your preference is your preference. Just make sure you know the truth and you're not influenced by the thinking and the smartness of other people. Because I am yet to see a Christian hate some aspects of his or her religion, or a Muslim or a Buddhist hate some parts of their own religion. You and I scorn Hinduism. But in Germany, where Sanskrit is booming, they are running out of universities to teach the courses in Sanskrit. They're listen to me, borrowing, renting university space in Switzerland to house German students, because the world is going back to our Dharma. How many people, children, how much people you're seeing on your TikTok feed doing yoga? How many people go for therapy and they're telling you, try this stretch, try this pose? Of course, they are putting their new name because the Western world discovered it. If you're paying attention, you've seen it. They are putting their own name now. They're rebranding yoga and they're giving it back to you and you're running it down. But when we have our own Dharma, We have our own practice. Whether it is the Ayurvedic, drink this tea, boil this plant, masawe, the juice from the bale root, and bathe with it, your skin problems are going to lift. We don't value that. We have a culture that only the Westerners, only America, only the white man, as they say, coming from the days of the colonies, only that person knows or has value. Only that culture has value. Mine does not have value. And it's unfortunate. Sraddha means you have faith. And from that comes Shrad. In your Shrad, there are things to be done that will bring upliftment to yourself and to your relatives, dead relatives, such as the anchoring the cow, the anchoring the piece of gold. There are others. There are other forms. When the person takes the leaping, have you ever gone to a funeral? Have you ever gone to a wedding and see Pua fixing over on the Kalsa? When you have puja, when the person is dying, in different texts is telling you, take the gobar, take Panchgavya. Panchgavya is the products of the cow. Lord Vishnu says, Ma, because Lakshmi Mata lives in the gobar. Milk, dahi, ghee, coming from the cow. Little bit of gobar, little bit of gav mutra, the cow urine, mixed together, and you must masawe the ground where you're going to do your penance, your jap, your tapasya. Hindu, listen carefully. This is why you lipe where that bush grass is being planted, to sanctify the spot. Think about it. Why do you lipe your baby? Think about that. If somebody came and said, well, you know, I'm not a Hindu, but I've come to your prayer, wonderful prayer. But I saw in the beginning, you lipe your spot. I saw before the funeral, you lipe the ground. I saw you did lipe. What is that? I understand that somebody's going to die in Varaha Puran, Garud Puran. He says it in this Vayu Puran. He says it. He says, take the person quickly before life leaves the body and place them where the gobar is smeared on the ground. Why are you leaping when you have puja, Ganesh puja, Saraswati puja, etc.? Panchgavya is the correct way to leap it. Where you're using the 5 things that come from the cow to demark this area where the devatas are going to be summoned, offerings are going to be made, and you purify the spot where it is going to happen. So you are getting ready to offer on your Vishnu, the Kushra. You leap around to sanctify the spot. I heard someone say, well, if you want, and I want you to listen, tell me what you think. Give me your opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I accept I'm wrong and I apologize. Everything that I'm saying wrong here tonight, please accept my apology. I humbly rest my big head at your powerful, knowledgeable feet. But it is very upsetting to hear people that should be guided talking rubbish. My niece is laughing. She doesn't like when I'm talking. Forgive me, I leave. Leaping is part of the procedure for your puja because of the cow element. When you use gobar alone and you hear somebody say put a little water, you're really supposed to put the other ingredients, a drop of dahi. Shankaraka dekadi dahi. In the mantras where we are feeding the devatas, you have sweet rice, you have fruits, you might put mango, but the mantra is saying in this thing that has the milk and the dahi and the other dahi. How much people is put dahi in all the things that they're offering? So the ingredients that you are offering in the Shrad has value, it has merit, it has purpose. The leaping is supposed to be done when you are preparing the spot, not only for if you go to do the fire, the leap the fire too. When the Havan is going to be invoked, where Pravyaragni is called, please accept the hair, the bone, the flesh of this body, please accept it. Leaping has to be done. Then, friends, as knowledgeable Hindus, practitioners of our faith, then nobody cannot say, if you feel like it, If you want, with that type of guidance, young people will say, well, if me are born to do it, my point tells me are born to do it, and then you have a problem. Because then people will do prayers and they will have problems because it is not prepared properly. You ever tried to boil rice without water? You could buy the best grains, you could buy the best pot, you could have this super stove. Don't put water in that pot and tell me what you'll get. I hope you understand my analogy. There are things that we have to become impervious. There are things that we just have to know how to say, that's not making sense. Such as, don't put tin. There is one Shrad. It is not usually done. It is when the person is becoming sannyas, where the person is going to practice not holding on to anything. Maybe we might call him Swami, the one that gives up even gold. That is what the word Swami means. The person who enters into that sannyas, maybe they would offer the pinna on their behalf. In such type Shrad, yes, there is no tin. That is just how it is guided. But in the typical prayer that you and I do on behalf of other people, you have tin. The food, it is requisite. And nothing is wrong if you put it. Anytime I have puja at my home with my family, and we have to give Sila, we give away so the Baba will have it for his worship. Till Janu. When you give Janu in your Sila, please remember people who have migraines, headache, high blood pressure, by giving that Baba that Janu to change when he has to change his Janu, when he's doing his job, when he go to read in their house and he have to change the string on his chest, if he knows what he's doing. If he knows what he's doing, because that Janu can become tainted because of the place you go, and it has to be changed. And you now help with that, you get the blessing that headache and head pain problems here dissipate. Go. Please listen as I jump to chapter 78 of Vayu Puran. Lord Vishnu is talking about Shrad and what is supposed to be offered. Listen, there's a verse here that I just want to touch on. Well, looking like I have a couple that will answer some questions. Somebody asked Baba, I heard that goat milk marks you it first. You're the Hindu, right? And I'm saying it like when I was young. The first time I read Garud Puran for people, I think Pandit Anand, I think I would have been 15, maybe 14 years old. And in those days, then how 10 days type scenario, not a big crowd, no sannyasam, nothing like that. But a little boy knew. So in the same context, let me accept that same act tonight. I'm a young guy. I'm glad. I'm glad if you accept that. I'm a young boy who doesn't know much. I'm reading a book, right? Bear with me. Goat milk is very rich and nourishing. Wouldn't it make more sense to offer goat milk in the pinna mixture or the turpan offering? I have, for some people, they might have buffalo milk. Different type of milk exists. Somebody said we ran out of cow's milk. Could we use cashew nut, almond milk, or milk that's sourced from plant-based things? What would you say? Somebody came to you and asked you that. We don't have cow milk, but we have a pack of cashew milk. We have a pack of almond milk. Could we use that? Tonight, in this part, I just want to talk now about the content of your prayer. And in it, we're going to answer some questions that people have been asking about what we are offering in Shrad, in our prayer, in our closing off, in the offerings that we're doing. Please hear. Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Bole Baba Tav Sharanam, Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tav Sharanam, Shamanka hastinam ye cha patalam brihate pala angasya shikha tibratesham sarva evascha eva madani chintani suvanti madhuranischa nagaram chatra vedipa Dhirga mulakam Bhakshini karirasuras Sargajata bhustya Yani Jaya Bhole Baba Tava Sharanam Jai Bhole Baba Tava Sharanam Jai Bhole Baba Tava Sharanam Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tava Sharanam. They are different vegetables, different fruits that are not to be offered. You know, we have, I know in Trinidad it's called the ban cucumber. I know there's a name, pointed gourd. Is that relative to Karai? Relative to Karai, not the bitter gourd that we might get in the States. This one is smooth, but it has like the holy watermelon have a two color green, but in Trinidad we call it van cucumber. It grows on a vine. Brinjal. Those people in New York will think I am definitely against baigan, but he says baigan should not be made and should not be offered in Shrad. Please listen. Dirgamuk are different kinds of radishes. These things are not to be offered. They are not to be used. This is where, when somebody says, what is the correct vrat or the fasting ritual, when the person is, after the funeral, going on to the shaving in the 10 days, no root, no shoot, we might call it sweet fasting, no salt, etc. No types of shoots from the bamboo plant. Sarjak or sala tree. Bush turnip is a type, andropongen. Ceranthias is a type of fleshy reed that we use in seasoning in India. That is a type of medicine that should not be offered in Shrad. Garlic, carrot, onion, circular radish. These articles are inferior, high in scent, high in content, but they cause the blood of the individual to become more reactive, more lusty, etc. And for that reason, the person who is doing the prayer, they fast from it. And secondly, because it is tamasic, because of their nature, they are not offered as well. For this reason, tonight, when you, with your Baba and not your Baba, when you are giving your dhan, your sida to your Baba, do you put onion and garlic in it? Let me put it to you this way. Maybe they are better suited, better suitable, more meritorious things that you could do. Grains, full grains, red bean, black eye, etc. Things to use in puja, Gita book, etc. They are things. The reason that this is happening, that these things are shunned, the radish, the root type, or the tubers that grow under the earth. Baba, why? What the big fuss? The onion, all these things have one thing in common. They grow under the surface of the earth. It is believed that when Lord Vishnu, please listen, when Lord Vishnu rests his foot on the head of Bali, the king, when he had come in the Brahman form, and he says, I want 3 footsteps of land, and he put his head on the body of Bali, as that body was squeezed by the pressure of Mahavishnu's weight from the spurting of the blood that comes from his body, right there in the earth. Because now he gained salvation, different vegetables started to grow. Different types of plants started to come up. And these articles that grew under the earth. For this reason, it is avoided. Because of their nature, because of their origin. This is the explanation for it. People say abstain from onion and garlic, the Hare Krishna, don't eat it, but we never know why. This is why. Please remember, tell a friend. For this reason, it is avoided in Shrad. So truth and in fact. We fast from it, but truthfully we're not supposed to use it in the food. And this is something that will cause people to get confused, because the man-made practice, the rules that we have initiated, is we like the food to taste tasty, we like the food to taste how we like it. And there's where we get trouble. I've heard that some people are advising that when you're taking out your food, make sure and put coffee. And somebody happened to call me and ask me, Baba, and if they hear the question, Baba, what is the mantra for coffee? What is the prayers to say when you offer any coffee? And you know why we put the coffee? There's no mantra for coffee. We would have to create a mantra for coffee. We would have to create a mantra for the soft drink. The mantra says, here is the water, the pure in a sense, Ganges type, uplifting type water, pristine water that has the till, the tulsi and the kush grass. That is what the mantra is saying when you're taking out the food. So that should be the offering. But where does the Coke and the coffee, and let's say in my younger days, I am knowledgeable of, and I am known of, I'm sure you can tell me, there were people, I don't know if you, have you ever heard this? This is a question. So in the morning, they would do the puja with the pandit, and everything would be sada and fine and all that. And in the evening, just that hour, maybe the ladies of the deceased, the wife and friends, would go where the kush grass is, where the jumbi, where the dead man coming. And if party like sardine, if party like, you name it, you could imagine it, the dead man coming. So they said, take out now, it be fresh, the punching for what the dead man liked. And it just showed that the Hindu didn't understand what Shrad, what Pitri Yagna, what Pitri Puja is all about. We are worshipping God. We are worshipping God. So in the God, there are rules for his prasad, right? Sattvic prasad. So maybe as time is progressing, that has slowly weaned away, but it exists in some forms. Party over like fried where ma when the bandara to make sure you know ma Srishti over like macaroni pie. You have to make macaroni pie. Oh God, ma, she going that day. Oh God, how you have wishes she tomatoes to come, ma? Srishti coming to eat it for you. You go see the roti floating, so. No, friend. The truth is, you are feeding Mahavishnu, Arya Mahapitra, simple Lord Krishna, for our understanding, for children, for my niece to understand. Lord Krishna is the person you're feeding, and he's saying, Prabhu, just like when Sudama had the little patras, this little offering is what I have. Please accept it, and let everybody, the universe, when Draupadi had the pot with the 1 grain of rice and he licks that 1 grain, he says the entire universe is satisfied. Pitras would be part of that. And you're trying to recreate that moment. So, simple food, sattvic food, clean food. Clean food, not jutta obviously. But when is the food supposed to be created? 1 pahar before it is offered. Watch how Hindus are advanced. We don't want stale food because of the bacterial load and content. We want healthy food. We don't want, for this reason, you wouldn't use fungus, mushroom. You wouldn't put mushroom to take out food. You wouldn't use it if you're fasting for Navratri Vrata. I don't know if you knew that. If you've never heard that you're not supposed to eat mushrooms when you're fasting for Durga, please send me a message tonight. I would love to know. My aim is very simple, to provide knowledge so that you can walk stronger to your goal. Nothing else. When you're cooking for your Ashram, when you're taking out your food, simple is fine. What is seasoned isn't fine. Fruits is fine. Believe it or not, the whole tradition of cooking all the food is really man-made. If we were poor, if we were going through drought, if it was pandemic and there was nobody to come and help you cook and a Shrad had to be done, I bet you simple was fine then, and trust me, it's fine now. If I have to take out water and food for my mother tomorrow, Mahavishnu, please accept papoy, please accept watermelon with the seeds, please accept guava, please accept cucumber. If I want to take out the salt food now, because of the daughter of Lord Shiva with the Ashok Sundari discourse, please accept a piece of sada roti, dosti roti. Please accept a little tomatoes choka, but in this tomatoes choka, I'm not going to put pepper. I'm not going to put this. Maybe fried tomatoes might be the better word to use. Simpler, less seasoning. That is how our food's supposed to be. But tonight, walk away knowing why. As the blood was spurting out from his body, as it was crushed by the foot, where the blood fell on the ground, these plants and the brinjal or the eggplant is included in that. Therefore, things that are mentioned in the Veda, different type of salt is not supposed to be used. Salt that comes from the land is not supposed to be used in Shrad. Women that are on their menstrual course, somebody will say, Bhagavad chapter 70, Vayu Puran, verse 15. Ladies in their menstrual courses should not take part in Shrad. So if you are clean, you are allowed to take part. If Baba, could I offer Tilanjali, could I offer Tarpan? Yes. There was a time women were not allowed to offer the dar when we planted the jandi because you weren't allowed to sit for the puja. Believe it or not, that's true. You can't bow to another man's foot, like it. You can't go and touch there from this side. So then the lady became empowered to do that. Now as we are understanding more and more that Lord Vishnu is the one, that if you read Kamba Ramayana, you will hear where Sita Mata Sri Ram couldn't come back in time and she offers the water, the kinda, and so on. It is an offering to God. It is God worship. There is nothing, it's just in the patriarchal times of where the male is remaining. Let's say I have a child, I have two children, son and a daughter. The daughter is married off early into the other family, so the only person I'm left with is the son. So in many examples, when you are reading or you're listening and you hear they're talking about son, son is the only one that remains with them. Because remember, in our tradition, girls were married young at the same time. So most times when girls would take part in the Pitri worship is in their husband's home. This is why in the wedding ceremony again, you hear the girls say, when you are going to do in vows, when you are going to do Pitri Yagna, I ask that I be allowed to, tell me, ask me, and then allow me to take part. Barring this rule, when the lady is in her menstrual period, do not take part in any form of Shrad. Foul-smelling water, soapy, for those people, soft and hard water, soapy, normed water should not be used. Water that has foam, what water has foam on it? Somebody says seawater, and that is coming from the discourse where Indra destroys the origin of the menstrual cycle in the human race comes from when Indra destroys Vrita, this demon. Long story. But he says that he's sharing the sin of killing this personality, and he puts Shrad on the seawater, the foam that comes with the wave. That is why they don't use seawater for everything. So in truth and in fact, when people say they're going to the sea to submerge Ganapati Baba, when they're going to the sea to let loose pumpkin and brains and all these things that they do by the sea, the truth is it's not supposed to do there. It is supposed to be done in the rivers where you don't have that foam. Please remember what I'm saying. Water from puddles that will not have oxygen, so the water might be murky, black water, drain water. Don't use that for your prayer. Don't go where there is jutta water. Don't use that in Shrad. But you will hear them get fresh water. get clean water. An example of that, when the Baba take the lota and he wash your hand and you sip and you wash, even that water they don't use it back to sprinkle on the murti. Correct thing? When you use that water, and this is just an example, when you use that water, you will see the pot and say, okay, could you change this water? Could you wash this out? Throw away this water. Get clean water if the pundit know what he's doing. That clean water is what is supposed to be used in Shrad. The milk of deer, camel, any animal that has hoof, buffalo, the Kamari deer, all these types are not to be used in Shrad. Only the milk from the cow, because Lakshmi Mata lives in the cow houses the devtas, and for that reason the byproducts of the cow, when offered in Agni Puran, it is listed as milk is a female, is a liquid form of Lakshmi. This is why you and I offer milk in dar, in tarpan, in sweets when we make things like, different recipes and whatsoever, in parsada simple. You use the milk, you use it as an ingredient in different ways because it is a sin burning, sin purifying ingredient that comes from the source of the cow. In today's world, people are making milk for people that have lactose intolerance from different plants. And yes, it looks like milk, but the source is different. It is not regarded as a Hindu source of blessing. For this reason, it also brings to bear, Baba, so could I offer plant-based ghee as opposed to the cow brand ghee or the cow form, the cattle type ghee? If you offer it, nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to jump up and say, hey, you got it. No. But the quality of the gift that you are giving is not the same. And I want you to understand that. You could do it. How much blessing you're going to get out of it, there is the difference. The cow is given and regulated, I'm repeating it here just for emphasis, as the elements that are coming from her body, the dahi, the milk, the ghee, the gobar, the gaumutra, the cow urine, as that thing if you bathe with it, there is prayers where you rinse your mouth with cow urine, depending on the trouble you have. There is prayer where you repay with it, etc. And when you cook with the milk, when you offer it in prayer like tarpan, such as in the dar, such as the lingam, where you beg in Lord Shiva Prabhu, you overheat it, let it cool it down and you offer the milk. By offering Lakshmi Mata in that form, you are going to get back the blessing of Lakshmi. So then when you offer, because I don't know how they do it, when you offer ghee that comes from plants, let's just say you have palm oil, you have coconut oil. I understand how to get coconut oil. So it is possible. You have avocado oil, very good for your health. But just like how onion is good for the zinc level in a man, garlic is good for your heart. Nobody says it's bad. But spiritually speaking, the origin of those things as a Hindu is not as suitable. Likewise, it doesn't mean coconut oil is not suitable to make a fire blaze. But the blessing that you are looking for, remember you're doing this thing to get an outcome, to get the help if you're doing Pitra worship, for example. So when people say, Baba should, and this is why I'm saying all of it, Baba, what should I light my diya with for Pitra Paks, or when we have Shrad, or when we have Puja? Have you ever heard the Baba say to you, the diya on the kalsa, make sure and put ghee in those diyas. Tonight, as I'm wrapping up, and I'm sorry for going over time, but it got very nice. Tonight, understand what your pundit is doing. Don't be so confused. Don't be so tied up. What you offer in the diya makes a difference. I have Shanigra, I light with mustard oil. I'm sure you know about this. There are different prayers where you use sesame oil, where you use different type mixture of oil. We spoke about this in Satsang, I'll go over it one day. But now you are doing Yagna, you're doing Shrad, you're doing this type of Vishnu worship. Maybe you're lighting a diya in front of your push grass. What is the best thing to put on it? And say it with me, say it home. the cow ghee. It comes from the cow. And I understand Lakshmi Mata is there and to give me that blessing and upliftment. I'm going to offer this type of light to Lord Vishnu. That is why you do it. That is why you do it. And that type of offering is going to yield the blessing that you're looking for. It says when a person goes to the right place, such as the river bank, such as the place where you conjure or invocate Gaya, etc. When the correct person, when the correct material, the water, the quality of the water, etc., the quality of the food, when these things are gathered together with the right mantras, with the quality of the Brahman, also mattering, the person you're giving your Gyan, the person you're listening to, believe me, if you know what you're doing, if you know what you're doing, you're going to land yourself in some good trouble. Let me put it in a different way. My dear brothers and sisters, if you go to a mechanic to fix a cholesterol inside your heart, you might have a problem. If you go to the doctor and say, Doc, I have an axle problem, I have an oil change to do, and you're expecting the doctor to do it to the best, you might have a problem. Likewise with your spirituality, the quality of your leader, the knowledge of your leader makes a difference. When you hear the knowledge of devotees judge the teacher, the first thing I ask, who's your guru? Because the truth is, with all the innovations, with all the technology, with all the things that we have going on, why is it our Hindu brothers and sisters are still in the position worse off now than before? Why? If you are in such a position, I am just raising these points to make it aware, to make it obscenely obvious that we have work to do and we need to improve. Please do not be like where I started in the beginning, the type of soul that is lost, that is confused, that time was wasted. They didn't do any notorious act. They did not do any type of Shrad to repay debts, to do for themselves. They didn't worship God simple language in any way or form. And now, in that moment, he has to answer for it. And the young dude is saying and echoing, listen again. Where is your wife? Where is your husband? Where is your children? Where is all your friends? Where are all those people that were important to you in this life? Where is your wealth? You're so proud of your car and all your assets. Well, where is it now? Children are fighting and hankering for the newest model iPhone. Good. I hope that phone helps you pass your exams and every trial and tribulation that reach in front of you. Because every day, as sinful people, as we are sinful people, we are met with tests. And with faith, the only way you're going to get that miracle, the only way you're going to see that change, is when you do those types of actions that please Mahavishnu. And because of that pleasure, just like we heard tonight, the slab, the soul, the stone, the Sila, she incurs the curse because of she left the husband's foot. Fear or no fear, she gets the curse. But because of the life the woman lived, because of the actions, God in turn says, I will bless you more. Until today, we use that Sil in the wedding. You will see that Sil prayer being Jagawe when Shrad is going to be done. When people go in the physical place called Gyan, when we invocate wherever you may live, energy of that stone is used in more than one ways, in different ways, in different prayers. Tonight, I hope as you have heard these little tidbits, these tidbits, I hope that you walked away better. Tonight, I just want to know, short Hawan, I know I'm over time. I hope you could just indulge me a little bit, give me time to do it. I don't know if you were hearing, but at the beginning I want to make mention. The musicians were here with me tonight. They made an appearance. God bless them. Sachin and Sanjali. The niece going in Barapur in 7 years when Mr. Ramnarayan will teach. And God bless them today because of who? Shivanand Maharaj and his music. Sachin Sankar belongs to Shiva Boys, down Pinal, involved in their activities, but who gives them and fosters this type of braveness to perform in violin and sitar respectively? Shivanand Maharaj. I'm making a call. If you want your child to have that type of knowledge, that type of training, get in contact, message me, I'll get you his number so that your child could step up not only in the music or the singing world, but because of the exposure, the braveness, be the responsible parent, please. Principal of Vrindavan Bihari Lala ki jai. Sarva Bhabam Haram Divyam Gangayam Nirmalam Jalamachman Namayaditam Grahina Parameshwaram Avayitam Purusham Mahatvam Surasuri Rachitam Padma Padmam Indo Visutvam Suryalokanatam Shri Agim Divta Swaha Devi Swadha Divya Jivanama. Simple mantras, and then we will do different Pitri mantras tonight, as I promised last night. Hari Om Shri Swaha with me, everybody. Om Prajapatyay, as we are offering to the Devtas first. Om Prajapatyay Namah Swaha. Om Indraya Namah Swaha. Come on, everybody, text Swaha on the screen. Send me a message. Say with me where you are. If you're lying in the hospital bed and you cannot reach the home door, or you cannot reach the temple, say it with me tonight. Om Somaya Namah Swaha. Om Bhu Swaha. Om Bhuva Swaha. Om Swa Swaha. Om Vishnave Namah Swaha. Om Shivaya Namah Swaha. Om Mrityunjaya Namah Swaha. Om Yamaya Namah Swaha. Om Somrajaya Namah Swaha. Om Havyavad Namah Swaha. Om Kravyavad Namah Swaha. Om Rudraya Namah Swaha. Om Kalaya Namah Swaha. Om Purushaya Namah Swaha. Om Shri Brahmdevaya Namah Swaha. Om Shri Tatpurushaya Namah Swaha. There are mantras here that we did last night. I'm doing different ones tonight. And I want you to say with me. If your father has passed away, Om Pita Pitra Shanti. Think of your father's name. Swadha. So we're using Swadha now. If your Aja has passed away, Om Asmat Pitamaha Nam Pitra Shanti Swadha. If your great grandfather has passed away, Om Asmat Pra Pitamaha Nam, take the person's name, Pitra Shanti Nama Swadha. If your mother has passed away, Om Asmat Mata Nam Yahi, take her name, Shri Pitra Shanti Swadha. Now if Aji, that is your father's mother, has passed away, Om Asmat Pitamahi Nam Yahi, take her name, you know it, or you call it relation, Aji, father, mother, Pitra Shanti Swadha. If great grandmother on your father's side, Om Asmat Pra Pitamahi Nam Yahi, Pitra Shanti Swadha. Continuing. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. For those people that have stepmother, Om, if this person has passed away, this is only for people who pass away. If they live in, hold back. Don't say Swaha with me. It doesn't apply to you. Om Azmat Safal Mata, call the person name, Nam Yahi, Pitra Shanti, Swadha. Now we're going on to Mami's side of the family. Om Azmat, if your Nana, that is mother, father, passed away, Om Azmat Mata Maha, Nam, take Pa name, Pitra Shanti, Swadha. If your great grandfather on your mother's side, that is Nana father, Om Azmat Pra Mata Maha Nam, take that person's name if you know it. Shri Petrashanti Swadha. Now we're going one more generation back. This is Nana, that is your mother, father, Nana, grandfather. Om Azmat Bridwa Pramatamaha. Nam, take the person's name if you know it. Otherwise, just say great, that would be your great great grandfather. Petrashanti Swadha. If Nani has passed away, Nani is mother. Do I really need to explain these things, or do you know these relationships? Om Azmat Mata Mahi, take ma name. Nam Yahi Petrashanti Swadha. Watch how Hindi and our language, Sanskrit, it's amazing. In English, when we say grandpa and grandma, grandfather, grandmother, that could be grandfather on mother or father's side. But in our language, Aja, Aji, Nana, a clear difference. Chacha, Mamu, Mama, if you call them, your uncle on mother's side, uncle on father's side, etc. So clear. Azmat, if this is Nani mother now, Azmat Pramatamahi, Nam Yahi, take she name, if you know it. Swadha, Petrashanti, Swadha. One more generation, Nani, grandmother. Om Azmad Bridwa Pramatamahi, Nam Yahi, take her name. Petrashanti, Swadha. If a person has lost, just a couple more, everybody, I'm going to finish now. If you have lost a son, Om Azmat Sutaha, like Nimitanai did not discuss, the father who did the first Shrad, lost his son. Take that child name. Shri Petrashanti Swadha. If your daughter has been lost, Azmat Kanya Nam Yahi, take the child name. Petrashanti Swadha. If your wife has died, Om Azmat Patani Nam Yahi, take the first name. Petrashanti Swadha. Om, if husband has passed away, Om Azmat Pati Nam Petrashanti, take the first name. Swadha. If your brother has passed away, Om Azmat Brata Nam, take his name. Petrashanti Swadha. If father, brother, Chacha has died, Om Azmat Pita Yagna Nam Petrashanti Swadha. If your mamu, or in Hindi we'll say mama, has passed away, call his name. Om Azmat Matulaha Nam, call his name. Petrashanti Swadha. Few more and we finish. Father, sister. Om Azmat Pitu Brahini Nam Yahi, call his name. Petrashanti Swadha. Mausi, mother, sister. Om Azmat Matri Brahini Nam Yahi, call his name. Petrashanti Swadha. If your sister has passed away, Om Azmad Mata Dhyapta Bhagini Nam Yahi, call his name. Swadha. Om. If your guru has passed away, Azmat Guruha Nam Petrashanti Swadha. If your friend has passed away, Om Azmat Sakha Nam, any friend, Petrashanti Swadha. If somebody out of respect, somebody above you has passed away, Azmat Dhyapya Purushaha Nam Petrashanti Swadha. For all relatives beyond what we've called, Om Yecha Jiva, Yecha Mritya, Ye Jata, Ye Yagnaha, Tebyo Gradastu Pulantu, Madhudara Vyandati, Shri Petrashanti Swadha. Om, let's do Gayatri now as we're wrapping up the Havan. Again, I'm asking forgiveness for going over time. Om Bhurabhuvasva Tat Savitur Bharenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat Swaha. Say with me, everybody. Om Bhurabhuvasva Tat Saviturabharenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat Swaha. Om Bhurabhuvasva Tat Saviturabharenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhyo Yona Prachodayat Swaha. Final offering now. Wherever you are, put your hands together and pray. Dear Lord, we are learning. Thank you for allowing me to learn. Maybe I've heard something different tonight, new tonight. Maybe I was clarified on something tonight. Thank you for that clarification. Dear Lord, whatever I do, whatever improvement, let it go towards helping my ancestors by listening to your discourse, by taking the time to listen to your katha, by gaining the knowledge. Please let the goodness that will ensue because of that go towards fostering betterment for those that have passed on in my family. Prabhu, I don't want to be a stagnant devotee. I don't want to be caught in a trap where I'm doing the same thing over and over and I'm doing it wrong. Prabhu, thank you for an opportunity to better myself and my friends. Help me to infect those that depend on me, my family members, my loved ones, my temple members, my group, my team, to do better. For all the young pundits out there, please God bless them to translate our text correctly, to say it in a way that people will understand and walk away with that knowledge. God, give them the strength and the knowledge, the words. Support them, God. Prabhu, please bless them wherever they might be to do God's work so that people will get the guidance, the help, the assistance that they need when they are walking towards their Prabhu. Om Purnamidam Purnamidam Purnata Purnamudakshate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purmadeva Vashishyate Om Purnativam Shanti Swaha. Friends of all Shri Vishnu Bhagwan Ki Jai. Touch the light to your forehead. Pay homage to the fire. Sarvapapam haram divyam gangeyam nirmalam jalam achmannam yaditam grahina parmeshwaram vanaspatir saubhuto gandhadyo gandhuktamam ave sarvadevanam dhupoyam pratigritam. Take the energy of the light, pass it over your body 3 times. Paying homage. As we do, Havan, during this period. Let's all join our hands now as we come to the end of our satsang. I apologize again humbly for going over. Please, if you found anything that I have said, if I was too energetic at any time, and I've said anything to hurt or render any hurt feelings to anybody, I humbly apologize. My intention is to clarify our Dharma, to give you the knowledge, the Gyan that we need to do the correct thing in the correct time. That is my main objective. Please accept my apology if I offended anyone. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva tvameva bandhu cha sakha tvameva tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Om Shanti. Everybody, Shanti, Shanti, Hari Om. Prem Salomapati Mahadeva ki Jai, Bhavanaputra Hanuman ki Jai, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai, Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Jai Sabko Sitaram, everybody Sitaram. Tomorrow night, final night, we'll be doing the discourse of how Lord Vishnu got that mace and some of the prayer that we offer when we're doing Pindadan that yields the help, a little clarity, how to pray, what to pray for, based on the words of Lord Vishnu. Wonderful discourse tomorrow night as we conclude these 3 nights of Vishnu Gyan Yagna from the Vayu Puran. I hope you have learned something. I hope you're walking away with different thinking and clarity. If you have any other questions, Please send them for me. Please send me your messages. I'm waiting for you. Sit down, everybody, until tomorrow night.